Good evening. Step 4 in 12 Steps of Recovery, whether it's Alcoholics Anonymous or NA. Step 4, we made a searching and fearless moral inventory of ourselves. Made a searching and fearless moral inventory of ourselves. What that means, folks, is that we're growing in our recovery far enough that we can take a look back at our lives, because it's important to deal with certain events that may have traumatized us in our lives, whether it be sexual abuse, whether it be abusive relationships, could be maybe 2 or 3 more at a time, maybe it could anything like that. So these are different events that have happened. Maybe something horrible happened on New Year's Eve, 1983 or whatever, or 1990, different events. A baby being born was a special event. Your wedding night, these are special events. The death of a loved one, mother and father, these are different events. Moving to different cities, moving around, these are different events, whether different periods of times in your life. Say you moved to Toronto for a little while, and then you moved to Detroit for 5 years. These are different. You moved to Detroit. That time you spent in Detroit, it's a life event. So there's lots of different things and mostly it's our childhood that we want to deal with. The first 7 years of our lives is the most crucial part of our lives when we're children, because a lot happens that, and our mind is built on that and focused on that in those first 7 years. So whoever's taking care of us, those are the ones that become important to us. So sometimes we might have trust issues. We may have jealousy issues. We may have alcohol abuse issues, such as myself. These are all passed down through generations. We can talk about these things too. So what I'm getting at is when we made a searching and fearless moral inventory, that means of ourselves. We could write it out. We could tell a story. We could write it out, and we could do it in a talking circle with a chart, or usually in a treatment center. Sometimes in a treatment center, they let you use the chart paper, and it give you a bunch of magic markers, and you can do what they call a lifeline. And with that lifeline, what happens is that you end up telling the events of your life and things that have happened to you and the different kinds of abuse. So you need to take a look back at your life, especially your childhood, if there's any kind of abuse. And we begin to talk about it with people that we trust. Someone that we trust. Because that's how we're going to deal with our problems, is talk about them. So especially when we're in treatment. This is the time when we're in treatment to begin to open up. Because we're in that circle. We're talking about ourselves. So we need to take part in that, take inventory, and deal with these issues. And there's different ways of dealing with the problems that happen in our lives. We could write letters, letter processing. There's all kinds of things. I'll go over those with you. But it's important to take inventory, write out on, even in a notebook, if you want to write out the different events from day one, right from when you were a baby, all the way up till now. What happened to you all those times? All the horrific things, the most traumatizing things you can think of. Try to document it all down and talk about it with somebody, whether it be a sponsor, even at AA, a sponsor, or someone that you trust, even a relative, or a spiritual leader that you trust, or just someone that you trust or that you can trust that's bondable enough to work with you. So that after that, there'll be a lot of letting that go. the negative stuff that happens, letting go of that negativity. You'll begin to understand residential school and how far it goes back, how far the different cycles go, way back farther than when you were born. So it's important we work together now and not stop judging each other. We don't judge each other about what we did in our past. We're going to stop pointing our fingers at each other and let things go. You know? We continue to judge each other and we continue to spread hate. We show what kind of a person we are. Okay? You want to be hateful? That shows what you are. You want to be a loving person? That shows what you are. Your character will show. And if you're hiding something and you're not honest, it'll come out eventually. But anyways, so that was step 4, made a searching and fearless moral inventory of ourselves and documenting the events of our lives. Whether we write it down or we draw pictures and work with somebody. It's important that we do this. And in treatment, it's good to partake in that kind of an event when it involves saving our own lives. Because in order to love anyone else out there, we're going to have to love ourselves first. And with that, have a good evening.